Live. And welcome everyone to Secrets of Sarmanath session 25. We have a special guest with us today. Everyone say hello to Michael. He will be taking the place of our other Michael for a couple of sessions. Jump on in. He runs a pretty awesome D&D Twitch channel on Main Gaming.
Like a very smooth transition.
Thank you.
Mike.
Yep.
That was pretty awesome. So, as usual, let's have a quick recap for everybody and see how you all were for the last week or so. Let's actually, you know what? Let's start with our special guest. What is new with you? Right? We haven't talked with you in a long time. It's been a couple of years, you and me. What's up?
It has.
Yeah.
Man, I'm tired. I'm still tired from Gen Con. I'm still recovering. I'm alive. I don't have con crud, and I'm just happy to be here, man. That's it. That's all I got going on.
That's all you got. Gen Con wears you out. I hear that.
It does. Right. It really does.
Awesome. Dan, what have you been up to for the last week? Did you find a new gym to go to?
No, not yet.
Not
yet. It's kind of the worst time of the year for me. I hate baseball. Football hasn't started yet.
Preseason, baby. It just started.
Yeah, but preseason doesn't count. It's fine. And then there's no basketball.
We have people threatening to quit over helmets. I mean, how can you not be entertained right now?
Greg, I'm watching USA Select scrimmages right now. That's how bad it is. Okay.
Sorry, did you say you hate baseball?
I hate baseball.
How dare you?
Oh, we've got some baseball.
All right, Sean is the baseball pro, right?
Sean,
I don't know much about the pro league, but I used to play baseball. I love that game.
As the only nerd here, I feel very out of place.
Well,
we're combo nerds. It's okay. We just bring a little extra to the table too.
Yeah, I only played baseball. And baseball players, they don't like count as usual athletes. They're fucking weirdos.
Baseball wasn't my sport because like I'm kind of left-handed, I'm kind of right-handed.
Baseball players don't count as athletes. Oh my god.
I mean, they're different. They definitely count as athletes, but like
I'm talking more on the social context. Right, like track and field is about as like typical jock athlete as you can get, in my experience.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, which
they
is
grow
weird.
Then weird up in
football.
Washington, is what I'm hearing.
Then it goes to football, which
then it goes to. I feel like football has to be the top.
No.
Depends where you are. Like
So.
football's the top in the South, whereas like lacrosse is like in New England.
You're right. Lacrosse.
Oh, are you are in the heart of lacrosse country, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is that like huge there? Like, do you guys watch that on the weekends and stuff?
No, we don't have any kind of like sports things like that. Like that's not a big thing in the Northeast. We're like, you need to leave and go out every Saturday and watch the whatever game. No, our high schools have like 40 sports teams, and one of them happens to be lacrosse.
Nice.
We have hockey, golf, the whole thing. Yeah,
Awesome. All
it's
right.
a time.
Sounds good. Well, we learned a lot about Sean in baseball today. Good luck going back to school next week, Sean. We'll miss you. Millman, how's your thumb? Did you chop it off? Is it gone forever?
I mean, it's growing back, all right?
Yeah?
I had to do a little, like, trimming of whatever was growing back because it was wonky.
That
But
sounds
my
horrific.
computer under the table was just sucking up my pants, so I'm terrified I'm about to lose a leg. Yeah, for context, last week I was putting in a water cooling loop, and while finishing up, I put my thumb into the fan by accident while putting a dust filter on. And it tore half a nail off. So it's still here. It's just funky looking. And I have to go back to work on Tuesday, and I really am very comfortable at being like at home now. I've just been in the house for 2 weeks. I was like, this is kind of nice.
Nice.
I could be a house.
I could live like this.
Yeah,
I
sounds
could,
good.
right? I've only been outside twice, and that was to go to the doctors and get like, leave forms and stuff, and I was like, this is kind of nice.
You're becoming the hermit you always wanted to be.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, good luck at work next week. We'll have to see
I
how
don't
that
think
goes
Wait,
for you.
I remember this from before we went live. You were talking about having alien fingers, but I didn't get a chance to see. What are we alien?
He's got a
'Cause
little
I have-
arthritis.
Yeah.
they're just doughy.
Yeah, it's like funky.
Did you
Yeah.
call his fingers doughy?
Yeah, because they like spread out a little bit partway through.
I love the fact the baker's fingers are doughy. Like I quit. We have beat the internet. Good night, everyone. Faye, how have you been for the last week?
Right.
What's new with you?
I've actually received something this week, which I've been waiting for 2 years. because it was a Kickstarter and then took forever to arrive. So I'm going to show you guys real quick because I love it too. Is this wonderful, wonderful book here? It's called Celtic Fairies by Jean-Baptiste Monge. He's I think French Canadian, I want to say, and it has really, really lovely illustration of different like fantasy creatures and stuff, and it's really nice for D&D inspiration, especially if you like small people like gnomes, fairies, all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really great book, and I've been looking forward to this for 2 years, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
We need a random like Fey generator made from that book, and I would as my characters die in this game.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, that is everybody in real life. Let's have a little bit of a catch up here in game, especially for our new character, and then let's just jump in. How do you say? So, last session, the four of you started outside of Balesport, attempting to figure out how you were going to smuggle your way back in and deal with this strange monster that was sucking the Duke of Balesport dry. Along the way, you met a strange man in an old wagon who called himself the Collector, and you realized that his wagon was much bigger on the inside when he invited you in. Inside, there was an array of magical items, more than you have ever seen collected in one place in your life. And despite his eccentricities, the old man was very helpful and allowed you to trade your own magic items for anything in his shop of equal or lesser rarity. After quite a bit of deliberation, you were smuggled into the city inside of his caravan, despite the guards on the lookout for our heroes. After getting inside there, you spent some time working your way slowly up to the castle grounds, trying to avoid the many pitfalls and guards along the way. With some help from your new friend Hugh, the Sea Feather, and some lucky rolls, you avoided the guards and snuck all the way up into the manor, finding it silent and devoid of the hustle and bustle you had seen not but just a couple days ago. Sneaking your way up to the master bedchamber, you did in fact find the Duke of Balesport, but waiting there was the undead corpse of your fallen friend and the true form of the Lady of Balesport. A pitched battle ensued, going quite hectically for some time in this small pitched room. Eventually, Meldarian's bloated corpse fell, and you defeated the Lady of Balesport, but it came at a price, as Tom Lightbringer had died. Quickly, you found that the charm that the lady had worked upon the town had broken, and you guys are quick to seek out everyone who was charmed and set the story right in town. Vasily, the dwarf, comes to your aid, recognizes the monster that was the Lady of Balesport, and begins to circulate to the guards that you are no longer to be sought out in the town. Unfortunately, the affliction on the Duke of Balesport did not lift. He still suffers, and after a few days and a touching funeral for Tom Lightbringer, you went back to the Collector to see if there was some new information he could give you. And the Collector told you the story of the great sunken city Rayquan beneath the waves, and of the Philosopher's Stone that was deep inside of it. He believes that the Lady of Balesport had divided and sucked out some of the Lord's soul, and if you were to give him this magical item, that he could restore vigor to the Duke's life. You agreed to go, trading in some items for magical periapts of adaptation so that you could breathe underwater. And this is here where we'll pick up the story, with the three of you, Hugh, Seafeather, Rose, and Janlar, having just left the Collector and going forth to seek out the city of Rayquan.
Right.
I won't lie, I forgot we were setting out to find the city. But that feels.
How did you forget about that?
I've been asleep for like an hour and a half. I don't even remember what I was doing before I went to bed. So
we traded for 5 of those
Yes.
water breathing apparatuses, right?
Correct. You traded for 5 periapts of adaptation.
Okay. Can somebody explain to me how they work exactly? Because I'm not entirely. I haven't had them before, so I'm not entirely sure. Is it a one-time thing or?
No, you wear it. A periapt is a necklace. You look at these. They're a small golden chain that ends in a bright blue stone with shades of green rippling through it. As you touch it, it is cool to the touch, like a still pond almost. And when you wear it, it adapts your breathing into gills. You can breathe underwater, along with some few other side effects. As you play with it, you realize that this is no mere ordinary periapt. As soon as you and another wear it, your minds are telepathically linked, and a mere thought allows you to speak across a great distance.
But so that's not only underwater, though, right?
No, you're doing this outside.
So I can
just
talk when I'm in animal form as
stand.
well. Like, if people wear the necklace, right?
Seems like it.
Nice. Okay, very good.
Oh my god, it's like the headphones all over again.
That's true. Oh my god, I almost forgot about those. Are we still at the collector's place?
Yes, we're picking up right where we left off. You have gone and seen the collector early in the morning. He tells you of the city of Raekwon. You've made this trade. You know that the fastest way to get there is via ship. From the coast of Balesport off to the southeast. He says it is about a week's travel southeast.
So, I'm not exactly from here. Why is Raekwon a sunken city exactly?
Oh, if you will remember from just a few moments ago, Raekwon fell beneath the waves some 1,000 years ago. It was a disaster. High winds, incredible waves the size of a continent. Yes.
And those sea elves that live live underwater, do they live close to Raekwon?
I am uncertain. The Merrill, they're called Merrill, if you'll remember. I feel like I was talking to someone about this not long ago. Elves come from beyond the rifts. The Merrill are a natural creature, though they do look much like elves. They live deep beneath the ocean. It is quite possible that a sunken city, such as Raekwon, would be home to them.
Do you have any old contacts amongst the Merrill?
Oh, no, I do not. The last time I remember dealing with Merrill, Raekwon was above the waves.
Oh, wow.
Do you know of anyone who knows how to get there?
Oh, everyone remembers the location. I am sure any ship in the harbor could take you there. It is covered in mist and perpetually a swirling storm.
Wait, there's a storm?
Yes, it never seems to leave, or at least the last time I was there some 100 years ago. I don't travel much on the ocean anymore. The cart doesn't really like it.
Okay. Well, I guess we could ask, was it Vladimir or Vasily? I want to say
Vasily.
Vasily. We can ask Vasily. Maybe he can organize a ship for us.
As you wish.
Okay, is there anything else you could tell us about Raekwon? Anything dangerous that's going on down there that you've heard about?
I have not been to Raekwon in many years. I've plumb forgot what might else be there.
I got money on a Kraken.
I have heard that is a delicious drink.
Okay. Does anybody have anybody else they need to trade or? No? Well, I guess let's go and find Vasily then.
Good luck, travelers. Remember to bring me the stone.
We'll try our best.
With that, you depart the collectors. You head back to the manor house where Vasily awaits in Balesport. He's been kind of the de facto leadership now that the Lady of Balesport is done, has been destroyed, and the Duke is so sick. You wait some period of time and begin talking to Vasily. He says, it would be... I'm sorry. It would be quite an undertaking to get yourselves a ship to Rayquan. Not many people go out that way. Bad juju bees that way. None of the sailors want to go there. Talks of shipwrecks and whole crews going missing. You'd have to find somebody a little more daring. Perhaps if you head down to the docks, there was a ship that came in a few days before the harbor closed. The Fire Drake, I believe it was, not a local captain. Perhaps if you were to speak with him, he might take you over there.
Well, we will certainly try. Do you think you have everything under control there? Are you gonna look into the water supply and the dark ooze monster
We are looking
that I've talked to you about?
Yes, young Rose. I am looking into it as we speak. These things take some time, though the well is deep, and I have no idea exactly what I am looking for, but good dwarves I trust. They are looking into it.
Okay. Sounds good. If it hasn't been fixed by the time we come back, maybe we can look into it. We have these fancy necklaces now. We can breathe underwater, actually.
That seems like it would be very helpful.
Well, best we have to do, Tom's mission, I guess. I hope you look out for the Lord. I hope he's gonna be fine until we come back over.
Dr. Gregorius is taking great care of him, I am sure.
Greg, we're next to the docks, right? Oh no, we're in the manor.
You're in the
house.
manor house, but you can
the
travel
manor
down
house.
to the docks, absolutely.
Yeah, we can be on our way if you want to. I don't think we have anything else to do here, right?
All right. So, the three of you make your way down to the dock district. It is now back up and open. The restrictions that the Lady of Balesport put on the docks are removed, and there are sailors going in and out of towns and taverns, loading up ships. There are many ships docked and ready to depart. As you begin looking through, are you looking for the Fire Drake, as you were advised, or what is the plan here?
No, I think we'd be straight looking for that ship, and if we don't have any success, then we can still have another look. But yeah.
Okay, absolutely. You spend some time, you find the Fire Drake. Captain Drake Ignatius Florentine Leonhardt III. What does your mighty ship look like?
The Fire Drake is it's a I think it's called a caravel. It's a big ship, and it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. You can tell that it's a Fire Drake. It has bright red sails. The boat itself is covered in some kind of tar to make it look black, and you can see that the deck swabs are actually adding this like pine tar to the deck as they are singing a very loud shanty that sort of echoes through the docks. It's probably a ship for no reason at all.
Excellent. You see the ship and are immediately drawn to it. The three of you. You recognize the Fire Drake and are drawn to the jovial ship.
I'm gonna pull in you, and I'm gonna say, you don't think there's actually fire on that ship, do you?
I'm gonna go with no, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And I like gently pat the fire resistance potion I have on my belt. I'm like, okay, I can do it. There's no problem. We can do it. And Rose gets very, very quiet, and just like shuffles to the back of the 3-man group. She's that.
I just like lean right into Rose. But don't worry. If we're going on the ocean, I don't think they want the ship to combust anyway, because most of them don't want to go swimming back to shore. Right?
Makes sense.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's reasonable. Okay.
So, the three of you approach the Fire Drake, Rose the Spriggan a little bit apprehensively. Captain Drake, what are you doing on the docks this day as the Seekers approach?
There is a large chair that has been drug out of the captain's quarters, and he sits in front of them, one leg over the arm of the chair as he plays an accordion. That's not what accordions sound like, but you figured it out.
That's definitely what accordions sound like now.
Perfect. So accordions are happening, and he's playing the tune as all the men work around him, because he's not going to do it himself. That's just ridiculous. And he sings the loudest, and he just sits there, sort of lazily on his ship, as they are preparing for, I don't know, some voyage, I think.
Yes. So, Hugh and Janlar, you lead the apprehensive Rose up onto the ship. You see this flamboyant man sitting in front of the captain's quarters playing the accordion while the rest of the crew works about. He seems to be, at least if not in charge, not a mere laborer.
He seems to be at least the laziest person on the ship.
At least.
I'm just like, yeah, that'd be the captain then. Right? Like,
Yeah, Chandler will walk up and say, "Aye, Captain."
You were, Jay. It's a J name for sure.
Chandler.
Okay. What is it?
We've come looking for passage on your ship.
Oh. And he puts the accordion down. He stands up. You came for a passage on my ship. Is that what you're saying here?
Indeed.
Passage to where? Where do you think I'm going?
I have no idea where you're going, but we seek Raekwon, the city underneath the waves.
Lad, I don't know if you know how boats work. It's a more of an on top of the waves kind of thing.
Indeed. You do not need to come all the way beneath the waves with us. Just get us close enough.
It's not a submariner. It's just a regular mariner. How many are you begging for travel here?
3.
Is it? What is that? Little one.
Say, this is Rose, Queen of the Hunt.
All right.
waiting for the full title.
I don't have her.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll look at him, and I extend a wooden hand, and I say, "My name is First Light of the Sun on Dewstock Morning Petals. Does your ship actually burn, or does it just look like it could?"
Is this elaborate puppetry?
What?
What?
A spraggin.
Who's making? You just saying words now, lad. Who's making it talk? The strings usually like a marionette. No? Is it not a trick of the? Oh shite! You're real. Oh.
What do you mean? Do I not look real?
I've never seen a wooden lass before.
Oh. I'm a Spriggan.
Wooden.
I come from the
Yeah.
I mean, I guess yes.
Yes. No, I can tell. That's.
Are you human or?
It's a wooden lady.
As he points, the people come looking, and you see these foreigners from a different land go, it's a foreign lady.
Start sweating because if there's one thing Rose doesn't like, it's attention. She's just like, oh, this is getting worse by the second.
No, my dear wooden lady. This ship doesn't light on fire. Well, I mean, it would if you lit it on fire, but it doesn't just combust on its own. Just its own.
That's good. That's a relief.
Yeah, it's just a name, Fire Drake. It's not actually made of dragons. It's not actually on fire.
I understand. Okay, I get it.
I mean, of course, if you like the gunpowder room on fire, the whole ship would probably explode and light on many, many fires. Or,
But nobody would do that, right?
I don't know. Are any of you going to light my ship on fire?
No. Oh,
No one else on board is going to light it on fire. That's for sure. We're all on board.
great.
I don't even think half the crew can swim. So,
I'm like having like a slide round around. If there are any other ships in the harbor, like
yeah, there's no. Listen, if you sail on top of the water, there's no need to swim. Don't fall in. That's my advice.
that's yeah.
It's pretty good advice of you.
It's smart. I can't lie.
I mean, I can't stop the boat in the ocean, so if you fall in, that's where you are for now.
I'm a pretty good swimmer. The water actually doesn't scare me that much.
I'd imagine you float pretty good because of your wooden, like a cork.
I don't think I have a thought. I think I'll need a minute to think about this.
All right. I told your friend Janice Janlar. The boat doesn't go underneath the waves. It's an on top of the water boat. I don't know what boats you're familiar with, but
I've never been on a boat actually.
Well, most of them don't go underwater. So if you're looking for an undersea city, you know,
Can't we just jump off the boat when we're close?
I mean, I guess you could. I don't know how far down the city is, and if you float, might be a little bit difficult to tie a rock to you or an anchor, cannonball, I guess.
Like she said, we're good swimmers.
All right. Are you good? Are you good breathers underwater? Because
The best.
there's no air down there, from what I understand, from all the drowned men.
You are correct, sir. There is indeed no air.
I try to be correct when it comes to the ocean about air and breathing and the underwater bits. But how long are you going out there? Am I just dropping you off and leaving there, and you're swimming back to shore? Because I think that's probably like a several-day journey out there. It's a hell of a swim.
Actually, a good question.
Are there
How
any...
long does it take to explore an underwater city?
I imagine several days, unless you have a tour guide or a map or something.
I mean, could you stick around on sea for like a week after we arrive there?
I mean, unless we get attacked, I don't see why not.
I think then that should be fine.
Great. I believe it's going to be there's 3 of you.
Yeah.
Let's call it 30 gold ahead and 25 for the wooden lady, because that's a sight I haven't seen before. So you get a discount.
Okay.
One of your crew members hears you give a discount on the way by and just gives a big disgruntled sigh.
I can tell a story about this. It's a wooden lady. Shut up. Wooden lady. And he's trying to compose a song with this, and there's nothing that rhymes with wooden lady off the top of your head, so I'll get back. I'll figure it out. We have several days out there. By the time we get back to shore, I'll have a wooden lady song, I swear.
So when do we want to leave?
When do we want to leave, or when do y'all want to leave?
when will you be ready to leave?
Oh, we're just dicking about in the port. We're ready to leave whenever you want.
I look to Rose and Hugh then. Do we need anything? Do we need anything else to prepare?
Do you have the gold for the voyage?
I have enough gold for myself.
One occupant, come on in.
Do you need money, Hugh?
Yeah, I've only got 15, and I'm like shaking the coin pouch.
Well, I can lend you 15.
Alright, sweet.
So I'll give him 15 gold as well.
I mean, if I find something valuable, preferably pearls, I think I can let you have them. Like,
I was actually wondering. I saw that. Actually, never mind. I don't want to talk about it here. I give him 30 gold or 60 gold, 45 gold. Never mind. Never mind.
It's a weird way to have a conversation, but all right.
It is.
I'll take your money nonetheless.
I'm a weird individual. You'll learn that quickly.
That's fine. I mean,
don't worry, he doesn't stare at you while you sleep. It won't be bad.
I locked the doors, so don't come in my room, please. It gets weird in there. Don't want you to. Don't worry about it. You can sleep in the cruise quarters, and shite, wooden lady. You probably shouldn't sleep in the cruise quarters. You can sleep in.
Why not?
Well, first of all, it's not common to have ladies on a ship because it's bad luck, and I don't know if that applies to wooden ladies.
Wait, what do you mean it's bad luck?
Yes, it's bad luck to have a woman on your ship because the ship goes down. That's the the rumor.
Wait, you mean we're gonna sink if I'm on the ship?
I mean, that's the going rumor, but I mean, I don't think that applies to wooden ladies. I'm not sure. I think it's just like human ladies or elven. Or, I don't know where wooden people fall on the spectrum. I mean, we have a wooden masthead, and she's a lady, but she just sort of hangs out there.
Do you have her here for bad luck as well?
No, she's just mostly for show.
Right.
Yeah. It's like
I
a
think I'm gonna
decoration.
sleep upstairs.
Yeah, you can sleep wherever. The stars are bright at night. You can sleep there. It's totally fine.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't want to spook the crew, you know.
I'll lean over to Rose. It's just superstition.
Thinks I'm scary.
No, it's sailors are crazy. That's what it is.
So it seems the price is paid, the gold is handed over to the captain. You're set to head out today, it sounds like. Or are you trying to plan on anything else before you leave Balesport behind?
No,
Yep.
I think we're good.
Alrighty, excellent.
Easy.
So, the money is paid, the crew gets to work, getting ready to set sail. Drake, I don't know if you're the barking orders type, but you get your crew going and get
No,
ready.
they've got it figured out.
They do.
They know how to operate the crew. They're
Alright.
probably more efficient at being crew members than Drake ever was, so they know what to do.
Perfect. Yeah, the crew picks up on what's going on. They start going to work. The accordion begins playing loudly once more.
Absolutely.
And amongst all this hubbub, the three of you find another character on the ship who is equally not working as much as Drake, though perhaps less flamboyantly. Jagar or Yagar?
Jagar.
Jagar. Okay, Jagar. What are you doing during this scene as these three seekers begin haranguing the captain of the ship you have passage on?
He was probably it's probably multiple days at this point. He's been waiting for the ship to finally leave port, and at first he was just kind of staring out over to the sea, and now he's just kind of leaning back, head against the side of the ship, just banging his head against it occasionally, waiting for it to finally move.
Excellent. Jagar, you are silently thrumming your frustration into the wooden bow of the ship as you see these strange folk begin asking the captain for passage, and you hear them speak of a sunken city of Raekwon beneath the waves. Do you, as a seeker, know of this place? Does this pique your interest at all?
Yeah. So I imagine Raekwon's one of those legendary places, kind of like the what was that one city? The one that wasn't really there, the city of mist or illusion or whatever it was.
I believe
The
you heard
Wandering
it called
City.
the Vanishing City.
Yeah, the Vanishing City. I think it's Raekwon is probably one of those places, one of those areas where a lot of seekers want to go because there's probably all kinds of cool rift magic there, but nobody really gets the chance.
Yeah. Okay. So, the three of you see this kind of silent figure, slick black hair, shaved kind of at the sides, the big twirling mustache, banging his head against the ship while the rest of the crew gets about to work. Just kind of silently watching you. Otherwise, how would you like to spend your day on the ship here as it gets ready to sail?
I'd probably be helping because as a sailor myself, I'm on a ship, I might as well be working, right? So wherever I can, I'll be helping moving things on the ship or joining in the scrubbing of the deck or whatever, and I'm just
Perfect.
trying to tune out the horrible playing of the accordion.
Is it horrible? I think we need a roll. I think we need a roll to know if it's
performance
horrible or not. Drake, please bless us. Here, hold on. Give us a performance accordion check. We need to know
Oh, wow,
if
he's
this is
actually good at
wonderful.
it.
I'm
or not.
outstanding at playing the accordion, actually.
Yes. You sure are. That is impressive. In fact, the accordion not only does not require tuning out, it inspires everyone on the ship to work even harder. At first you thought, oh, I need to tune this out, but soon you get into your scrub and you're like, wooden lady on the ship, and you just start working even harder.
Yeah, and all of his songs are raucous and inappropriate for wooden ladies, to be fair.
Alrighty.
Janlar is not a sailor, so he does not know where to stand. After being in people's way, he'll probably go stand next to Jagar, since he appears to be not a sailor. And I'll ask him what he's doing aboard the ship.
I've been waiting to leave.
You,
I assume you heard of the occurrences down here in the harbor, the one locking all the ships inside.
indeed, it's been quite a trouble for us.
Well, Captain Drake here was the one who sounded most likely to leave first thing he could, so I paid my fare, I boarded the ship, and now I've been waiting for 3 days, waiting for him to finally deign to sail wherever he plans to sail.
You seem quite bored of it.
You can only stand the accordion for so long.
I'd like to think you just came on the ship and said, "I'd like to buy passage," and then I took your money, and then there you sat.
Yeah.
There was no destination. You just hung out until I had somewhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably something like, I want to buy passage anywhere that isn't here. And you were just like, all right, that's not a destination. I can't go off that.
Well, that's nowhere, so we'll sit until someone gives me somewhere to go.
But, well, it sounds like you may be on this ship for a while. We're headed to Raekwon.
Oh. And what do you have for you in Raekwon?
We have items we need to acquire to help the Duke of whatever city we're in.
Balesport.
Balesport.
Is that so? You're helping the Duke. Does that make you the Seekers who arrived in town?
I'll show my arm and say, "Ah, indeed."
I've heard of your group. That's why I was leaving. It's not good if we start to create competition with each other.
I say, "With each other? Does that mean you two are
Janet's
Seeker?"
like idly pulling off his glove, and he holds up his palm, and you see the Seeker mark on his hand. Normally, I've been traveling alone, but Seekers in the same area can create problems if they're not working together. I'd hate for one of us to track down the other's leads and take away their work from them, if you understand what I mean.
That makes sense.
So,
What was your reason for being in Balesport?
at this point, it's been quite some time since I last returned to Sarmanath. I travel the lands and look for any sign of rift magic. I have the traveling funds to spare, so I haven't needed to look at that accursed job board in some time.
That's why we're here.
Oh.
Cursed job board. The Duke was sick, and the ships weren't able to leave, so...
And now you sail to a legendary sunken city.
Indeed. We weren't able to cure his sickness, and we were told the magical stone, the Philosopher's Stone, might cure him.
That's why I hate the job board. It's never as simple as the posting.
Seems that way. I'm quite new to this.
I hope they're at least paying you well for this work.
To be honest, I don't remember how much they're paying us. I thought it was 500 gold, but could
How
have been
do all
100
of your
or 200.
characters end up old and jaded, man?
Wait, mine?
Yeah, you're the youngest of all of us. You're just like, I hope they're paying you well for this shithole.
Okay, hold on. This guy actually is old and jaded, so like, let's be fair.
All right, I kind of trampled over your RP. I'm sorry there. So,
I don't
the rest
remember.
of you.
Well, I guess I'll just try not to be old and jaded.
No, I just think it's funny
Suddenly
that literally
15 years
all of your
old, no worry.
characters are. Alright, so the ship takes its preparations and begins to set sail out into the open ocean. The way is very clear and obvious to any veteran of the seas. They know of this place, a place where the mist hangs over the ocean day and night. Storms brew constantly. And there are rumors of the sunken city deep, deep beneath this place. It'll take about a week and a half to get there. And as the ship sails, Drake does a good job of telling people what to do and where to go, and the ship seems to be making good time in a rather clear winter air. Just despite the fact of being winter, you're not running into a lot of storms or weather or problems. How is it that the five of you are spending your days on this ship, right? As it sets sail throughout the ocean, what is it that you do during the course of the day?
At some point, if Hugh was alone, I would like to go up and speak with him. I want to ask him about his magnifying glass that I've seen him use.
Yeah, I'm probably sitting with my legs hanging off the side of the boat, just staring out to sea, because it's been a long time since I've actually been back at sea. Obviously, the Duke of Balesport down and out of it for a while, so ships have been stopped for ages. And I most probably am looking at something magical. Like, I've got Esteban across my lap, and I've got the monocle on looking at him.
You just hear him on your lap while you're holding him there. Unhand me! You're touching the goods! How dare you touch Esteban Montague Garcia IV? I am the greatest swordsman in the world! You're holding me in place like some sword, some tool!
I know, but I mean, we need to get to know each other a little bit, and I need to study you. That's what I do, man.
Just let me be free, sir! I shall take out your enemies one by one, I swear it! Or I am not Esteban Montague Garcia IV.
Fuck, I love this sword.
Yeah, I'll walk up and interject myself and say, I see that your magnifying glass has radiated magic. What does it do?
I'm probably looking up at you through the loop itself, and I'm like got one big fucking bobbly eye. Like, I can just identify magic items, or not identify, but you know, see magic items if they're out in the open. If they've got anything over them, even like your cloak, I can't see them.
Well, then I would take out the magic wand and ask him what he sees when he looks at it.
You see that the wand does radiate magic, and as you look at it, the loop allows you to see two additional things. You see that it is a school of magic that is from the nature school. This is obviously not in the book, but this is something that you, as the collector, are aware of. He has taught you about the many different nuances of magic. This wand is clearly tied to the natural magic of the world. The other thing that you notice is that this is a very rare item. The collector would be very pleased to have it in his collection.
Well, yeah, seeing it, I'll be like, well, can I look at it? And I'll like be like handsy, like, come on, let me have a look.
Yeah, there's no way
Probably
you can
letting
tell.
Esteban just like fucking flail about as he does.
As soon as you like release the pressure of Esteban, he goes flying away from you and just kind of stands point down as if looking disapprovingly at you. If a sword could look.
Yeah, exactly right. Like he's probably got like a jewel or something on the hilt, and he uses that like an eye. Just yeah, looking at it, I'm like, it has the touch of nature to it. The school of nature. That's what the collector has explained to me when I use the loop, the different shades, and this is quite rare. Why didn't you trade it? Did you plan to keep it?
I did not know how rare it was. I do not know what it does.
Oh, that'd probably do it then. I'll hand it out. Like I'm like holding it like fingertips, like I'm not like holding. I'm like, well, when you finally figure out what it does, like, don't point it in my direction, okay? Like,
I was hoping your magic eyepiece would be of more assistance in that matter.
Sadly, not this time.
I
just
fear that.
find-
Sorry, go ahead.
I find them. I don't necessarily use them that much. They're a source of income, remember?
So you often don't know what the magical weapons you get do before you trade them?
I bring them in. I show the collector. He does his old rambly thing. Probably forgets what they do, and then offers me a decent price. Like, I can trust him because half the time he doesn't remember who I am, so he can't remember to rip me off. I think we've met, and I look at my hands at least 50 times.
I fear that when we go beneath the waves, many of my magical spells will be very useless without the ability to speak underwater. I'm wondering if this wand will be of use.
Maybe try giving it a go. I'm sure you can find a rat or something or board you can point it at. Just don't wreck the ship, or I'm pretty sure it won't set it on fire, but you know, like, take precautions.
I think I'll have to wait until we're at least off the ship.
Now you're thinking.
Alright, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about then.
All right.
And I'll walk away slowly.
Small chit chat takes place over the course of a few days. Is there anything any of you want to bring up that you're doing specifically on the boat, or are we just passing time with small chit chat and the crew working away?
Drake kind of goes around to each of these new people. Not so much Jaguar, because he's just been hanging out on board the ship for like a week. So I'm sure he's pestered him enough. But he goes around to Hugh and Janlar, not to overwhelm the wooden lady. But he goes over to Hugh first. So, what are you? You're going underwater for a sunken city for what now? Just for, as they say, shits and giggles, or what?
I'm hired by the collector to collect things. He told me to follow these two seekers, and I'll get magic items to bring back for him. So, we're going down there to find a stone that can apparently lift the curse of sea witches off of the Duke. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, you're just very honest, huh?
Well, what's the point of lying?
Gave a whole bunch of exposition there. I didn't expect that at all. It wasn't even like I didn't even perceive a hint of a lie. You just told it the whole thing. So there's magic items down under the water, yeah?
Well, it's a sunken city, and
they'd fetch a pretty price.
if we find some.
Interesting.
We also got the loop on, so I got one big bobbly eye. I'm like, yeah, I'm hoping to find some.
And he's just staring at the one big eye.
Exactly, right? Like,
Yeah, no, you said there's a bog witch or something, and a duke of whatever. What?
back in Bellsport,
Yep.
there was Sea Witch.
Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
like a local singing troupe at the tavern.
Sure, I threw one out of a window half burnt.
Oh!
So,
Maybe we're talking about different ladies.
yes.
I heard of it's a traveling bard troupe that they, from the Fens. No, that's all right. I hope you didn't kill one of them for sure. They're lookers. The
No,
bards, not the whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
So he did poison the Duke, and now you're friends with the Duke, or
Well, the Seekers were here to heal him, right? So
sure,
I guess we're just trying to finish the job.
right?
I
And you-
regularly just sail to places, find a magic item, retrieve it, and then go home again, right?
Sure. Now,
It's a
have
lot
you-
more complicated than normal.
it seems like it is. Now, the whole finding magical items and selling them part. Have you ever thought about not doing the latter and just keeping it?
Well, I have my own magical items, but
Sure.
I'm hired to go and get them.
Well, what if you weren't hired and you could just go and get them whenever you wanted for fun?
But then, what would I pay to eat with?
Well, what if, let's say, for instance, now if you're on board a ship and someone else's ship or someone else's town had magical items and you weren't hired or under any contractual obligation to sell these things, and you could go in and just take them whenever you wanted, and whatever else you wanted. Coin, a shirt, a lady, ship's mast, I don't know. What then? You could have all the coin you wanted and keep your magic items.
Oh, I see you're trying to pander me to the pirates' way.
I
Because-
mean, we don't quite use the P word around here. It's more of like a freebooter.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be on a boat unless I'm hired to be on the boat, right?
Sure, I mean, these men are mostly hired to be on the boat. There's always spots for a crew member, and you seem to be apt with the rigging, and you got that little weird eye thing going on. Seems like you can see very far. It can put you in a crow's nest.
It's not for that, it's for seeing up close.
Well, turn it around.
If only it was that easy. If
I'm just
only-
saying, give it a thought. You know, I don't want to say that you're on a pirate ship, but you know, give it a thought.
Maybe I will.
Right.
Maybe if the Seekers go belly up, I might need a new job.
Well, here's hoping. Have a good one. He starts
Here's to open.
he starts to walk over. He walks over to Janlar. You were there at the stern, awkward one. You're just sort of standing around me boat.
Indeed.
Oh, all right. Your friend there with the giant eyeball, he told me that you guys are going underwater to find a special rock and some magical items, yes?
He told you all of that.
He did. He was very great at exposition. There was like a bog witch. He threw her out of a window. The Duke has some kind of poison on him or something, and you guys are seekers, which is news to me, and I would have charged you more had I known ahead of time. But fool me once, shame on you.
I appreciate the information, Drake. I will definitely need to speak with you about his subtlety.
Sure. So about the underwater city, what about this stone that I know you're going down there to get? So it's really no point in lying to me. Plus, you're in the middle of the ocean, so what are you gonna do about it?
You know as much as we do.
Oh,
There's a stone down underneath the water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have the ability to get there.
Okay. And then you're gonna get there and bring it back to the Duke, and then you're gonna charge him an exorbitant price to save him from a bog witch. Of course not, because you're seekers.
Indeed. Yeah,
Fantastic.
we I don't know. We need this stone.
Okay. All right.
I can't give up on this quest.
No, I mean I'm
your
gonna
friend-
take it. I'm gonna take it down to the stone. That's fine. But I mean, there's other magical items that you don't need that I might. So maybe I'll come with you down there. What's the worst we could find? A kraken?
I laugh.
I hear
Not
it's
the first
good rum.
time. It is good rum if you know how to squeeze it out of them. It's the trickiest part. It's like This was a conversation very far away. I let you hear more too. Anyway, it's like a sack inside of you. You got to squeeze it and you distill the liquid. It's a whole thing. We have a distillation chamber downstairs. In the,
I would take out my little necklace and say he can hear us through this, or hear me through this necklace.
Oh, you got all kind of magical items, don't you?
It is how we plan to breathe underneath the water.
Do you have a spare one?
For a price.
Is it about 30 gold?
About 30 gold. No, 15 gold.
Oh, for a friend. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you back 15 of your own gold, and I won't steal it from you when you sleep.
I appreciate that very much.
He hands you a small pouch of exactly 15 gold. That's a deal well struck. And then I'll collect some different items down there, and I'll not die to a kraken, and then I'll be on my way. Well, with you, of course, I won't leave you down there. That's just not sailor's honor or whatever they call it. You know.
Sounds like a fine plan. I'm looking
It is-
forward to it.
Do you know what rhymes with wooden lady? I got spriggin, friggin, but I can't. Those don't sound great together. Brigand.
Shady, Sadie.
That doesn't. Oh, I guess that rhymes with lady.
You're trying to rhyme with wooden.
Or
That is
spriggin.
aggressive.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I saw a friggin' spriggin. She was with a band of brigands. It's not nothing's playing out. It's not.
That's a shady lady. Going great.
Lady doesn't come off as well either. It just makes her sound like a criminal, which I'm not saying she isn't a criminal. I'm just saying I don't know her well enough to prove that. Oh, are you just right there, wooden lady? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about you like you weren't around. I'm trying to think of rhyming words, but it's not. It's. I'll get it. Anyway, good luck. I'll be off. Thanks for the thing. And he puts the Perry hat on. I can breathe underwater. Wonder how long that lasts. He starts to walk back to the ship.
Just hear in your head. We don't know yet.
So, everyone can hear me talking.
Yes.
Just when I wear it.
Just remember to take it off when you start talking about us.
No problem.
This really is the most honest rogue around. What the?
You just hear accordion noise starts to play through the...
It's telepathic
Once was a
accordion
rogue named
noises.
Drake who yearned for a nail and a steak. Oh, see, this one's way easier to write. He was short on his coins, but long on his loins. What is the next line? Something about a slake, steak, rake. I don't know.
And
We'll figure it
all of
out.
this is coming through telepathically the entire time. Accordion noises, the attempting to rhyme. It's just telepathically in your head constantly.
Yeah.
For days of travel across the ocean.
Just
Everyone else takes theirs off. And
I get like 5 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, nah.
I'll just drown.
I'll just drown. All right. So, the days pass. So you have these.
One second. I have one thing I need to do.
Absolutely. What are you doing during the time on the trip here?
So at some point, Rose spends like most of her days up on the ship, and the first few days she has trouble getting adjusted to the sea because she's never been on a boat. She's quite seasick the first few days, right? Pretty rough on her, but like after a few days, she catches herself and she takes out her staff of the woodlands that she has, and she has it like on her knees, and she looks at it carefully because it is from the Gloomwood. That's what the collector said, right? And she's from the Gloomwood as well, so it's like having a piece of home with you. And she just gets, she just gets used to handling it and trying to examine the flow of nature that runs through it. At some point when she feels confident in it, she's gonna look for rope. And she's gonna approach Drake at some point, and she's gonna say, Captain?
Yes.
Would I have some rope? I need enough to let it down the side of the ship.
Are you jumping ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I tell your companions that you're just gonna float away, or you coming back?
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a rope all around. It's a boat, so you can pretty much take it wherever you want. I advise you, the ones that are up in the air, don't take those. If you see it lying down, you can probably take a length of that rope. Yeah.
Okay.
Although the current is pretty strong when the boat's sailing, so you might get sucked right back, and then you hit the rudder, and then it splinters.
Oh.
For you.
Oh, I thought for the rudder. Okay.
Well, I mean, the rudder's a lot bigger than a tiny wooden lady, so I assume the rudder wins in this fight.
I'll try to take a day that's not too rough, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
if you need help, you can just ask around, or I can help you. From that.
I think I'll ask you if he's not busy. I think he knows about ropes.
You'll ask me?
He knows? No, I'll ask you. You don't know him? He's like a rogue.
I'm
he's
sorry. You're saying you'll ask me, and then you're talking about someone else, and I don't.
No. I say I'm asking you. You.
I know. You're asking me.
No. You. He's.
I don't understand what's happening here.
Who's on?
I'm me.
Who's on first?
To announce the
Who's
H.
on second?
Oh, his name is Hugh. Oh, is that the man with the giant eyeball? Hugh, is that you with the eye?
No, you with a U in it. It doesn't have an I. It's HUGH. No I in there.
Oh, is that the lad with the giant eye, or the solemn one who just stands around, or the headbanging one?
Oh no, he's the one with the glass with the eye. Yeah, that's him.
Giant eye. Okay, all right. You can ask Hugh. You can ask any of us.
Yes, I will ask. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Any length of rope. There's some over there. There's a swat of rope over there. Yeah, you'll be fine. Good luck with whatever you're doing. I hope you don't float away. I'll
try my best. Okay, thank you. And I go in and find you, and I'll be like, can you tie some knots for me?
Yeah, not a problem.
Great. Come with me, I say, and so I'm gonna show you where the ropes are. The captain said I'm not allowed to take these ones dangling up there, but apparently these are fine, right? And I point at them and I say, I need one really long rope that's very sturdy. I'm gonna go swimming.
I'm concerned because we are moving.
Yeah, I'm going to take a day that's slower, but I don't want to bother you every day about it,
I mean, I'm not doing anything or going anywhere, so it doesn't hurt to just go, hey, I want to do the rope thing today.
Okay. Well, we'll do it tomorrow when the weather is calm. So we postpone it next day, flashback, morning, breakfast, and we're doing the rope thing. When the sea is more quiet.
Chewing on jerky, like tying knots every so often. I'm like, so what are you doing again?
Have you ever been underwater, under the sea?
Swimming, yes. Fallen off the ship, yes. Been thrown overboard once.
Well, I've never done any of these things, and I feel like all of them seem to be viable when we're going to an underwater city.
I'm gonna say no. But let's do this.
This?
And I'm like holding up a rope with like a bunch of knots on it. Yeah, this.
Excellent. Just put it around my arm.
Okay. I'll just like drape
And-
it over you. I'm like, you didn't give much description.
And give it a good, make it a knot so I can pull myself back up if I have to.
Oh, okay. And I'll like loop it around your arm, give you a good slipping knot so that it'll pull tight so it won't come off. Maybe your arm will come
Right.
off before it comes off, but I don't want that to
Well,
happen.
It's better than the rope disappearing. Okay, I'm gonna go in. Do you want to stay up for like an hour or so?
Oh, I'm gonna watch, and then if it gets interesting, I might join you. I doubt it will be interesting. I don't feel like going overboard. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I have a fear of deep water, and I just look down, and it's just like blue and then black. I'm like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, and I think the first try is not going to go terribly gracefully. So I'm going to start when where there's rather calm. We're still moving, but it is still rather calm. So I'm going to climb down the side of the ship with the rope on my arm, and I guess Yu's going to lower me down, and then I'll try to shapeshift into the water as a frog.
All right.
That's all I have right now.
You
So I just
meld
down.
down into the form of a frog as you climb down the side of the ship, much to the surprise of many a crew member who happens to see this whole escapade. Small bets seem to be won and lost as money is passed back and forth amongst the crew members. And you turn into a frog. Notably, the rope that was tied to you slips off of your hand as you turn into a frog.
Right, but it still dangles the side of the down to the side of the ship.
It does. It dangles down the side of the ship. You are a frog in the ocean. What are you doing?
I'm gonna
Out of water right there.
I'm
I'm gonna-
because it's salt water.
exactly. No, I'm gonna have a swim around. I'm gonna have a look down underwater.
All
and see
right.
what it's like. I've never seen the ocean underwater. I've never been. And there's no such thing as documentaries about the deep sea or something. So.
All right, you slip beneath the waves of the ocean, and you are underneath it all. And a kind of silence surrounds you, and you are looking down into the.
Except for the voices of, like, us
Except for the
talking to it, right?
telepathic thoughts of your companions, yes. As you look out into the deep blue around you. At first, you don't see much. It takes you a moment for your senses to kind of come about. And eventually, you do see through your frog-like eyes an expansive ocean that descends down deeper than your eyes can see, eventually terminating to some kind of darkness. You spend some time looking around. I assume you're trying to find animal forms to shape into?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. So what I would like
Just
for
get
you
a
to
general
do is,
feel for
as you
what's-
swim around here, go ahead and make me a perception wisdom check and see what kind of success you have in finding animals to turn into.
You probably hear Sambar getting all excited. He's like, I've never seen so much blue.
Wait, can the others use Sambar
Yes,
as
yeah.
well?
I
No?
think
Right,
so,
they can,
right? He's part of you, and Sambar the mace speaks telepathically to you.
Oh my god, it's Chandler!
I think this is the first time I've heard Sambar, so I think
No, you
I think
picked him
Jailer
up.
might take off the
You picked
necklace
him
in like
up.
fear.
you just
picked him up
ashamed.
in
You
the
take
fight,
off the
remember?
necklace.
And you clubbed that lady with him. I remember that.
Jailer does not remember that fight at all.
It was a dark.
All
No,
right.
I'm pretty sure that Jailer just didn't remember any of that, though, right? Right?
What, the last fight
that's
against
a
the-
character choice that you could definitely go with.
Well, no, I thought we talked about it, like, because I thought I had forgotten. most
Sounds
of
good.
that.
Yes, yes. Your memories went all fuzzy after that anyway, so this could definitely be one of them that's gone. So you swim around the ocean. At first, you begin finding schools of fish. Of different colors and variances. You see large strands of seaweed kind of drifting about, detached from whatever place they came. You swim a little bit deeper with your frog-like legs. You see a dolphin come across your field of view, followed by like 3 or 4 more twirling, playing in the ocean. You find some outcropping of rocks. You see some crabs and sea anemone, small lobsters scuttling across them. You eventually find a small cave. And as your frog-like form kind of sneaks inside of this cave, you see sleeping, with its eyes open, but clearly like not moving, and in its restful phase, a large hammerhead shark. Greater in size than probably you expected. You think it is twice or 3 times the size of a man, as it lays slumbering in this cave that you happen to come across as a frog. After some time, you realize that the salt and the ocean itself is just a little bit different than the normal waters of the Gloomwood that you found this frog in. It's starting to kind of mess with your ability to breathe and walk around, or swim about, and so you find your way back up to the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'll give the rope a tug, and I'll be like, you!
I'm on it, and I'm like trying to wake her up.
Yep, and I try to climb back up. Like, it was fascinating, though. And cold, really cold. It's very cold there.
Yes, it is extremely cold the deeper you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's only maybe once or twice I've ever gone to as far as this anchor will go. And I don't plan to do it again. Well,
So, can I describe to you what I've seen, and you tell me what those things are?
I'll give it my best shot.
Right. And so we spend the time in between me going down, figuring out things, explaining what the creatures look like, and him guessing what it is. And maybe we get a few wrong, on the way, but it goes pretty well.
All right. Awesome. So you have swum through the ocean and found some new forms for your druid to potentially shapeshift into. Excellent. So, days pass.
At some point, I want to flag down Rose. I know, we just keep
Yes.
going from scene to scene
That's
on
all
this
right.
ship.
Nope, that's fine. Jagar, during this time, this journey through the night, through the ocean, you find a time to track down Rose. What's up?
I walk up and I say, Jagar Harmont, a pleasure to meet you.
Well, has nobody told you that I'm bad luck?
You're bad luck.
Yep.
According to who?
The captain and all the sailors. Do you see how they walk around me and give me that much space? That usually means,
I think the captain might be insane. I don't think you can play the accordion for so long without eroding the last vestiges of your sanity.
Well, I guess if you're not scared of me, and I extend a hand towards Jagar, and you can see that in my palm I have, my Seeker's Mark is in my palm as well, right? So I extend the hand, and you see the Seeker's Mark, and my name's First Light of the Sun on Dew Soaked Morning Petals, but I guess people call me Rose.
Good to meet you, Rose. Do you speak for your group? I've been trying to piece things together. Bards sing of you in taverns, a clever trick somebody played there. But not all of the players match up. You're unmistakable, the Spriggan. There's the wizard, though he's more gaunt and frail than I would have expected.
He's had a rough time.
There was a cleric, but he seems to not be in your company. I've never seen anyone quite like that man over there, he says, looking over toward Hugh.
That cleric is... Well, one of our clerics is gone. One is on a mission, and the other one, we lost him.
Well, either way, are you the one who speaks for your group? I figured you most likely to be the leader.
I mean, what do you want?
Well, it's occurred to me that I'm not going to have much work for the foreseeable future, and I figured I could negotiate. See, I got on
is
the
this
ship.
about money? I'm not very good with money, I have to admit that.
I'm not asking you for money, no.
Okay.
See, I got on the ship planning to go somewhere, but it turns out we're going somewhere in the middle of the ocean. I don't exactly have much place to go once we arrive at our destination, aside from down.
Why are you going on a ship when you have no idea where it's going to?
I was trying to get out of Balesport.
Huh. Okay.
My
So you're
work is
asking if you can tag along?
more or less, yes. I have not much else to do while I'm here, and I think if I have to stay on the ship much longer, I might go insane myself.
Are you not afraid?
Oh, I'm very afraid, but I imagine you've thought it through. Do you know if you can cast your magics underwater?
Well, I'm not too worried about my magics, actually. I can turn into things, you know? I'm not sure if you saw me. I do these things sometimes.
I'd be more worried if I fought with a hammer, but with the sword I can probably make it work well enough underwater, if a bit awkwardly.
Well, I mean, you're a seeker, too. I don't see why not.
Yes, though I do have one request. I take my share of the reward money, as I understand this is from the job board.
Sure. I mean, why not? I have no idea how much money we're getting, but, sure.
It's funny that none of us were thought to write down how much we're
I
getting.
have it written down, but Rose is not a money person to worry about. I'll tell you later.
Chandler has just forgotten. It's just not as important to him as other things at this point. He's probably pretty heartbroken over Tom at this point. So
Yeah.
I've gone through 2 characters at this point. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm just here to have fun. I'm like, hey,
Yeah, but at some point I would approach Janla, since we're the, you know, technically the last 2 ones, and I'll be like, so Janla, have you met this Jagar person?
I have. He seemed like a reasonable fella.
He asked if he could tag along underwater under the city and get a cut or something, money, something from our share.
Well, he was nervous that if he worked in town with us at the same time, or not with us, but in town, that we might cross paths and it might be a problem. I think he's right. It's probably easier to work with him than with other seekers that are around us. We also seem to be a little short on companions at the moment.
That's true. Unfortunate.
Without Gormac,
That's a long time, Gorik.
we need Goric. I apologize. Without Goric, we need someone else to be at the front lines.
I'm just tired of losing people, Janlar.
I'm sorry.
What if we go down there and he just dies and it's just, you know, it's different because it's our mission. You know, we're doing this for Tom, right? I don't even care about the money.
I agree.
what are you talking about? I never went anywhere. I'm right here.
Also, I don't mean to interrupt your little powwow here, but I can hear you inside my head. And how many people of your friends have died?
I'm just taking off the necklace, you know? I'm just
my
taking
necklace-
off the necklace. I'm just putting it into my pocket. I'm like, yes, no.
Oh, you said several people have died. Hello? Hello?
No, I'm actually gonna lead in, and I'm gonna hug Jenla, which is one of those rare moments, I guess. I'm gonna say, I will look out for you.
I will do my best not to fail you as I have our companions.
All right.
And I guess at some point we go back to Jagger and tell him that he can tag along.
This is a wooden vessel in the sea. You can't hide from me. I just...
Excellent. What method do you have for handling the breathing underwater?
So how many amulets do we have in total? We have 6, right? That was
You
that
have
it?
5.
I think it was 5.
5? Okay.
You got
right.
5
So I'm gonna
amulets from the character.
So I'm gonna give Jagger one of the amulets, and I'm gonna say, you can use this, but be careful, other people can hear what you're saying. So
I like try putting it on, and I hear the accordion, and immediately
Yep.
take it off.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I see. I'll save it for when I need it then. And I put it away in a bag.
All right.
I love how he was more worried about the people dying and not the you know, the sixth voice on the line.
Yeah, there's one more voice than there should be.
He has no idea how many people have these necklaces, to be fair. Or how many you have. You're just giving them out like candy.
Alrighty, so the days pass. We've had these small conversations. The boat is pretty much unmolested for near a week's time. We are approaching the designated kind of area, and a kind of tension comes over the crew. Maybe not Drake. Drake seems a little carefree, but the rest of the crew are definitely seasoned sailors, and they know of the reputation of the place they're going to. The air kind of grows tenser. That evening, the storm clouds kind of grow a little thicker over the sky. Despite it being the winter months, you had largely been seeing summery days and good, strong winds leading you in this direction. You have very little resistance at all. In fact, you've made almost as good a time as you possibly could have if you understand the seas and how they work. That night, the food comes out, and everyone eats kind of silently. Even the accordion might stop playing for a moment or two, just given the mood of the place. Although I'm sure it picks back up rather quickly. As you are all kind of going out to bed, I want to know where all of you are spending your nights along the ship here.
I'm huddled on board, right? Like I'm on top. I'm not sleeping with the sailors inside, so I'm like huddled somewhere
You
as a
sleep
green
up
little.
above on the dock of the ship, or the deck of the ship.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as the night winds down and sailors go off to their chambers, Rose, you stay up on the top. Janlar, Jagar, Hugh, what are you guys doing? How do you spend your nights?
For somebody who hates the ocean so much, I'm probably always up top because I hate the idea of being trapped underneath if the ship ever does sink, right? He has a phobia of the ocean, but he's a very good sailor. So like, it's just like, yeah, on the top, either staring at the stars with his feet hanging over the edge, or, you know.
You sleep with your feet hanging over the edge of a ship.
Yeah, because I like the feeling. All right.
All right. Playing fast and loose with the potential of falling in. I like it. Okay, so Rose and Hugh, you are up on the top of the dock, getting prepared for the evening. Jagar, Janlar, where do you spend your nights?
Honestly, I'd probably stay up top too. Because Jagar's carrying a fair amount with him, and he's a little bit worried about sailors trying to take his stuff.
Paranoid.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think I actually have reason to be.
Fair enough.
And I probably spend most of the nights trying to talk to somebody in the group asking for news out of Sarmanath.
Okay.
Trying to learn about what's been going on there in the past year or so that he's been gone.
Janlar, do I assume we make it a full set on the dock of the ship?
Yeah, I mean, Janlar wasn't afraid to sleep downstairs, but now it's...
Now he is. Now he's terrified.
You're not gonna
of
sleep
it.
on the deck? Aren't you cool?
Now that it's just him, he's like, ooh, there's a lot of sailors.
Yeah. Alrighty. Drake, where
I
are
doubt I
your-
could get a 20-foot space by myself downstairs. I feel like
No.
everyone would be too close to each other.
Where are
I
your
was thinking about
captains?
just like casting alarm like around myself, but it wouldn't work.
Somebody rolls over, it's like bing, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah, it's tightly packed bunk hammocks down there.
Yeah. Where are your captain quarters located on your ship?
Below the what do you call it? The helm.
Okay. Below the helm, but separate from the quarters. Alrighty.
Yeah, so there's like you have like the main deck, and you have like the quarter deck. The helm's on top of the quarter deck, and the quarter deck interior is the ship's
Okay.
the captain's quarters.
So, the majority of the crew goes down to sleep. It is probably one or two men, just kind of on the night duty more or less to make sure that the ship steers straight. Drake, you retire eventually to your quarters. The rest of the party starts spreading out across the newly emptied deck of the ship, preparing to go to sleep for the night. at like midnight, as the moon is high in the sky but is obscured by clouds. You barely see it through the storm clouds up there. A sky kind of devoid of stars in the sky. It's very dark along the ocean. I want all 4 of you on the deck of the ship to make me a perception wisdom check at disadvantage for your kind of sleepiness in general, getting ready to go to bed. Alrighty. Hugh with
sorry,
a
that's
17.
a 7.
Jaguar with a 7. Rose with a 6. Okay. Jen, I would like you to roll for me at disadvantage.
Just up and enter, dude.
Alrighty. So, of all of you, Hugh, you are the one to notice something going wrong. The rest of you are all getting ready to sleep. You begin to hear sounds drifting through the water. At first, you don't really think much of it. It's very dark out, but you're used to dolphins or whales or whatever else might be out in the ocean kind of breaking the water, but it's too consistent. They're getting closer to you. Eventually you stand up and you realize as you look out across the ship that there are shapes coming across the water towards you. You count amongst them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are kind of spread out and moving in a straight line towards the dock of the ship. You don't see fins or tails, but you do see the dividing V of the water breaking across the ocean's surface towards the ship.
I'll like take a double take, and then I'll yell to one of the sailors that is keeping watch. And obviously, I think maybe one would be in the crow's nest or doing something, and I'd be like, "Signal the men. There's something in the water."
Okay. You yell at them. Signal the men. There's something in the water. One of the crew members kind of begins peering over the side. The other one, quick to respond, races down into the down the stairs into the docks below. Begins trying to rouse the crew members. In the interim, you see these shapes come up to the top of the ship, up to the side of the ship, and you see hands begin to crawl out of the water, and you see 5 Merrill begin crawling up the side of the fire drake. Up towards you, and you think they are making quick time. Large spears and daggers either tucked away on their back or held in their teeth as they climb towards you. What do you do?
Greg, you get most to the other map.
I am not ready for you to be on the other map yet.
Oh, okay. It was on stream.
Oh, I forget that it's on stream. Yeah.
I'll yell to the party, or the closest one to me, to wake up, and then I'm like, "All right, Esteban, let's stab some sea folk."
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and swing you over to the map, I guess, since it's already on stream. I forget that I can't hide anything from stream sometimes. So, you tell Esteban to get ready. These things are crawling up the sides of the ship. These green-skinned Merrill. You are all kind of just hanging out, having a nice sleep. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do. You're gonna attack them as they climb up the ship. What is your plan? You've talked to Esteban. Esteban perks up, slides out of the scabbard, and dances in the air in front of you.
I think I'll go to the closest edge, because obviously I was dangling my legs over the edge, so I probably see them coming towards my feet. I'm like, hell nope.
Alright.
As they come up, I'll get Esteban to poke them as they try to climb up.
Alright, excellent. As they climb up, thinking they're being very stealthy, you speak to Esteban. Go get him! Esteban shoots down out of the scabbard and dashing towards the closest one to you to strike at him with his magical sword. Please go ahead and roll to hit. You know Esteban's to hit properties?
No.
Alright, Esteban is a +4 dancing sword, so +4 to hit, +4 to damage.
Okay. Oh, 9.
All right, the sword dances down, and shockingly, the Merrill is able to dodge to the side of it, and with the sword in his teeth just kind of deflect it, he stares up at you, and a croaking yell erupts out of his mouth. And with that, they all begin to sprint up the side of the ship, rushing over it. The rest of you on the dock are now alerted to their presence as the Merrill breach the side of the ship, and I would like everyone on the dock to roll initiative. Excellent. Janlar, we are at 13. Jagar with a nice 14. Hugh Seafeather with a nice 16. And we will get Drake involved with a 13. Rose, I need your... No, 17. Perfect.
You need me to start, or?
Nope. I just didn't see it at first.
Okay.
Alrighty, the first move is actually you, Rose, as the Merrill come breaching across the ship. You are the first to respond after they all unleash that croak, and you see them climb on board of the ship to you. What do you do?
Is there actually a wall between this dude and myself?
Yes, why not?
Right, so if I was to take a range attack at the moment, I wouldn't get a disadvantage because it's not real melee in that sense.
Sure,
right?
I'm on board with that, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take one of my pebbles out of my pouch, and I'm gonna throw it into my hand, cover it in algae, and then I'm gonna sling a magic stone at, I guess this one.
Okay, excellent. You breathe magic into the stone, wrap it in your vines, sling it at them. Please give me a roll to hit. Roll to hit.
I have too many spells. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
A 24 strikes them clean, right in the side of the head. You see a trickle of blood roll down as they take 13 points of damage. They croak again in their strange kind of language, like almost frog, like in the front. And they stare angrily at you as blood trickles down one of their eyes. Anything else you can do with your turn here?
Nope, that's my action.
Alrighty.
And my bonus.
That sounds good. So, that brings us around to Hugh. You are the next to react. The dancing sword of Esteban is kind of over the side of the ship, getting ready to strike again. What do you do with your turn?
Okay, so with Esteban, he's a bonus action, right?
Esteban is kind of like an independent actor.
Okay, so
you can telepathically tell him what to do, but he takes his turn on yours.
Alright, cool. Well, I'll attack this one that is standing next to Rose.
Okay, excellent.
I pull my rapier and give him a good pokey.
You poke him with your rapier. The Rapier of Wounding strikes him for +1. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So that'll be 21.
Oh my goodness. That is 21 points of damage. He needs to make a Constitution saving throw against your Rapier of Wounding. D20 plus 3. He passes. You see the Rapier of Wounding attempts to lay magic on him, but his flesh knits together where it was instead, and the magic resisted on his flesh. He takes 21 points of damage though. Esteban dances forward and strikes at the enemy as well. Please go ahead and roll to hit for Esteban.
Boom.
An 18 strikes the creature again, this time from the back, doing another 22 points of damage.
No, ignore the snake, because he doesn't get
Oh, I see, yes, he would not get sneak attack damage. Good call. That is a lot of HP. This Merrill looks bloodied. He looks like he kind of slumps over on one shoulder against the side of the ship. Anger's still in his eyes, but definitely worse for the wear.
I just took 2 rapier stabs. That would be pretty rough too.
Anything else for your turn there, Hugh?
No, because I'm standing in the middle, so I can't.
Okay,
really...
sounds good. That brings us around to Jagar. Jagar, you are roused from your near slumber. You see both of these Merrill kind of come from the other side of the ship from your companions. What do you do?
Jagar grabs his sword and draws it from where it was sitting in his lap, and then he closes with this Merrill right here, going into Boar rushes down the mountain.
Oh. Yes!
It's all over.
Going into Boar rushes down the mountain, swinging violently at him as you stride forward, hitting him.
For 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. He takes the blow, kind of crouches down to one knee to, like, take the fury of your attack, and before getting back up, spear and dagger in hand.
And then for the second attack, we have a 25.
Alright, your onslaught continues, though, forcing him back down on a knee. He takes more damage. He looks up to you, slashes across his shoulder, face, chest, blood running down. He indeed looks bloodied as well, but fiery anger still in his eyes.
I'm actually going to action surge here.
Okay.
That's a bonus action.
Okay.
So we're going to do 20 plus 7. That's a miss, but then I get another attack because it's the attack action a second time.
Okay, absolutely.
So 14 might hit?
14 does not hit. You stab through, you think your blade's gonna get there, but he deflects it to the side at the last moment with the dagger in his offhand, and he spits blood at you as he does so. Alrighty. That is your turn? Alright, perfect. That brings us to Drake. You are awoken from your slumber inside your quarters by the sounds of combat on the deck of your ship. What do you do?
Drake isn't one to shy from combat, albeit he is in a far sexier combat stance now that he was just sleeping. He bursts forth from his chambers and slams into whoever this is.
That's Janlar, yeah.
Perfect. He bumps, "You're standing in my way every time," and he pushes past him. And he kind of like quickly looks at what the hell's happening. Everyone seems to be in order, and then he's going to move to this guy.
Okay.
And the two rapiers at his belt are unsheathed, and he is going to stab at this this creature here.
Absolutely. In a whirling of rapiers, you begin stabbing with both hands. That hits.
25 and a 22.
Both of your rapiers hit in your twirling dance of steel for 12 points of damage on the...
12 plus another 11, so
plus
23
another
points.
11. All right. He once again, this one kind of stumbles back from your whirling blades. You see slashes all over him, some piercings. He too looks bloodied after your first assault, but he stands firm. Again, that croaking, awful noise gets directed at you.
And you hear Drake bellow out in like some weird, like drowned man kind of language. "Get off my ship!" As he shouts in Aquan.
Ooh. All of you hear this same kind of croaking, ugly language, although it sounds more like a drowning man from the vocal box of a human, as he responds in kind with Aquan. You can hear when they speak Aquan, they are all threats. They are threatening you, saying, "You shall die tonight. You approach our home. It is ours." Those are the types of things that they are saying that you hear. Excellent. That is your turn. Janlar, you are the last to rouse of your party members here. What do you do?
This is the weakened one, right?
There are 3 weakened ones. There's this one who's been stabbed multiple times. Jagar has hurt him, and Drake has slashed at this one.
Okay. I'm gonna step. Oh, wow, I'm lagging really hard. I'm gonna step forward a little bit here. And cast Ray of Frost on this one.
All right, you step forward. A cold ball of ice races out in a ray towards this creature, striking it, filling it with this kind of icy protrusion on its shoulder, dealing 13 points of damage to it. It stumbles back as it is cold, drops one of its weapons, but stares at you kind of balefully. Alrighty, anything else you can do with your turn, sir?
No.
Alright, that brings us to the Merrill themselves. It is finally their turn to act. We'll just go in order on my list here. The first one, standing next to Hugh, here is the most bloodied, and he's going to make 2 attacks here. One with his spear and one with his dagger. They both come at +5. The first one is with his spear, for a 9 to hit you, but this is the same arm that the ice was on. He just kind of like jerks on. He can't quite get there. The second one with his dagger is an 11, unable to strike at you. He doesn't really know what else to do with his turn. He is going to attempt to gain some high ground and get away from the 3 people surrounding him. So he takes a step back up the stairs. Hugh, you get an attack of opportunity. Esteban gets an attack of opportunity. Rose, I don't believe you do. You kind of have this wall like right next to you.
That's fine.
All right. Oh my god. Okay. Please roll for damage there.
Okay.
Do you get sneak attack on your attack of opportunity?
I believe so.
Okay, I'll allow it. That's fine.
Yep. It is.
Okay. So he takes
Already. You only get it one round.
25.
No, it's once per turn, so it can be if you get an extra turn, like in a way you get it.
I think it's once per. Yeah. Once per turn. So if you've used it on your
he already
attack,
did it on his turn though, so he wouldn't get the sneak attack damage.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
It's an extra. It's somebody else. It's once per turn, so once per your turn. We can look it up later. Let's not discuss.
Esteban will hit too. Ignore the sneak attack again. I gotta really.
Okay, so Esteban has 6 and 12 and 25 points of damage. Between all of these attacks, Esteban stabbing him, you stabbing him, the icy beam, he just takes a couple steps back up these stairs, falls back, crashing on the deck of the ship, a dead Meryl on the floor. This one here sees his opponent go down, and instead of attacking, is going to tackle down to the ground, Hugh. He sees your back, he dives on you, grabbing you up in his heavy arms. Please make a acrobatics, dexterity, or athletic strength to oppose his grapple attempt.
17.
Ah, very nice. He gets a 19 though, so he wraps you up and like begins squeezing you into submission. You are grappled with this man. We'll put this nice bacon on you to show grappling right here. That brings us to this Meryl here. This Meryl sees the attack happening and decides that he wants to help his friends out the best he can by rushing the mage. He takes some steps forward with his spear and dagger, and he's gonna try to take down the magical caster on the ship.
I'm gonna use shield as a reaction so that
Okay.
I can also create my arcane ward.
Okay, perfect. The spear comes rushing at you with a flash of your hand. Magic energy dips between you and him. He still strikes you with a 22. Does that get through your shield?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So with the spear attack, he does D6 plus 3 damage. You take 5 points of damage from that, and then he comes across with his dagger as well. With a 21, does that get through your shield?
Yeah, sorry.
Alrighty, perfect. And you take an additional 5 points of damage as you get attacked there.
Just for a note, my arcane ward takes all of that, so I'm still...
Oh, okay, yeah, you're the magical energy of your ward kind of like absorbs the impact, and you don't bleed after you're hit here. You see a very surprised looking croak come out of this thing's mouth. And it stares wildly. Drake, you hear, is being just like, what is going on? Like, it is very confused. That is his turn. This guy is in combat with Jagar. He is going to take out a net that was tied around his back and attempt to net Jagar together, or net you to the ground. So he's going to just throw this upon you with an 18. Does that hit your new AC?
Yes, it does. Are we doing AC for a net throw?
It has to hit you first, so it's a
Okay.
ranged weapon attack to hit. So you are restrained until you are freed from the net. You can make your action to take a DC 10 strength check to free yourself, or you can deal 5 slashing damage to it, and that will free yourself from the net.
Okay.
With that being done, it's gonna make its second attack now at you with its spear here, with advantage. That is a 20 to hit you.
That's a hit, yeah.
Alrighty, perfect. And it will do an additional 4 points of damage to you as it streaks out in happiness here. We'll put the same bacon on you. Which leaves the final one facing down with Drake. It will attempt to fight you with the same spear and dagger. A 22 to hit your AC.
Yep.
Alrighty, that'll do 6 points of damage, and a 14, I assume, will miss you.
The 14 will miss, and I'm going to use
Alrighty.
a dodge to take half of that.
Alright, nice, yes, he strikes with your spear, but you just turn your body at the last moment, and it just kind of grazes past you. This brings us to the round of the crew members. One of them raced downstairs. You could hear shouting going on downstairs, but this one here is engaged in the fight, and he sees this grapple situation going on, and he's going to strike down at the Merrill with advantage, trying to really hurt him. That didn't roll the way I wanted it to. We'll just roll it again.
You just rolled 1d20, that's why.
Yeah. So he's gonna crit, which is fantastic. With his short sword here, he's going to do 9 points of damage to this Merrill right here. The Merrill shrieks in pain, but just maintains its grip on Meldarion. It's intent on trying to kill you dead. Which brings us back to the top of the round. Rose, you see Hugh just locked up in this wrestling contest with the Merrill. A crew member trying to stab it in the back. What do you do?
I can... Wait, it's not prone, right? It's still standing up, like the Merrill creature.
Yes. The Merrill creature is kind of like wrestled Hugh like down onto his knees, got him gripped in some kind of like almost sleeper hold looking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll try to throw another pebble at the one that is grappling.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
A 24 will hit for 9 more points of damage. You see it kind of lull and loosen its grip just a little bit as you hit him, but then quickly locks it back in, and his eyes focus back up. It seems like he's doing very rough. Anything else you can do with your turn there, Rose?
I think that's all for now.
Alrighty, excellent. That brings us to Hugh. Hugh, you are locked up with this thing. It is squeezing you, trying to take your breath away. What do you do?
I'm gonna see if I can stab him in the eye with the rapier over my shoulder here.
All right. Because he's like locked into you with that grapple, you're gonna get advantage to like reach over your shoulder and stab him. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Cool. And he does have an enemy next to him, so boom. 27.
27 hits. Please roll damage. Was 17, and that will kill him. I'm not even gonna have him roll for the wounding sword. You reach over and like you just find the soft spot in his shoulder. Your sword goes all the way through, and he just goes limp right on top of you, and he dies. You are no longer grappled. Anything movement you want to make? Anything else with the rest of your turn?
Can I get up if he's wrestled me to the ground?
Yeah, you can stand up. I'll take away like 5 points of movement to get up off of
Alright,
me.
well, I'll go around and flank behind this man.
Alright, you go behind, trying to grapple the one, or trying to flank the one that is attacking Janlar. Perfect.
Yep.
That brings us to Jagar. Jagar, you are like netted by this creature. What are you going to do? Sean.
Yes.
I'm not used to being Jagar. Sorry. So I'm going to attack the net here because it says 5 damage is what destroys it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So AC 10 to hit it. I hit
AC
the
10,
net.
you hit it. You can.
I
do
don't. I
less
can't
than
roll
5
less
damage?
than 5, so it doesn't really
That's
matter.
what I was thinking. Okay, so the net, you
so I destroy
slash
the
at the
net.
net, and it is destroyed with your first attack. You stand up, rising out of the net. This Aquan thing goes.
And I'm
Drake,
going to take
you
another swing
recognize
at it
this
for a
as
16
holy
to hit.
shit. You hit it with a 16.
Okay, so that's gonna be 2d6 plus 4. It takes another 9
It takes
points
another
of damage.
9 points of damage. Its surprise, its holy shit is like cut off right at the end. Is like a new stripe of red strikes across his chest. He stumbles back to the edge of the ship, teeters for a second, and then comes back on his feet.
Okay.
All right, is that the end of your turn there?
Yeah, unless destroying the net triggers Great Weapon Master, but I doubt it does. I'm pretty sure
No.
it's creepy only.
You didn't
I
kill
killed
the
the
net.
net.
You didn't kill the net. Perfect. Drake, you are locked in combat with this Meryl. It's spear and dagger versus your 2 swords. What do you do?
So I'm going to lash out with one of the weapons at this guy with a 13.
He parries it away with his small dagger. Yes.
Cool. And because I have fancy footwork, I'm going to dash backwards. Oh no, my screen's scrolling all over the place. I'm going to dash backwards, and he can do nothing about it. And I'm going to stab the other guy with the other sword.
Alrighty. I'm going to give you advantage on this guy because he's been like so surprised and he like rocked back and forth on the ship.
Does
you
a crit hit
him. Nice.
So he takes very low damage there, but I'm going to use my sneak attack because he's surrounded by allies.
Correct. Yes.
This would essentially double against. Or I just roll it twice. So it's 15 plus 5, 21.
21 points of damage.
17, 23, 22. Maths numbers.
Okay, I need to know, is it 22 or 21?
17, 22.
It's 22. Then he dies. You ring him through. You kind of slap at the creature fighting you, dance away very fancily, and then just slip your other rapier right in this guy's back. He falls unable to even make a croak of surprise before he dies.
Oi, everyone! I figured it out! I have the song! He skewers it. The Wooded Lady song! I got it! And then he's going to move up to this guy.
Alright, perfect. Janlar, you see the captain of the ship dancing about, killing enemies. I've got the name of the song! What do you do?
The one in front of me is totally undamaged, right?
That is... No, he took a stone shot from Rose earlier, but that is all the damage he took.
This one took more damage, though, from...
Definitely, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Sleep on this one, then.
Okay, alright. You begin working your magic together, and you cast the words of sleep as a kind of malaise of dust travels over there. 24 HP, minus the damage he took. Yes! That will put him to sleep. This one is very sleepy. There we go. Sure, sleep. Yes, he stands for a moment staring at the retreating form of Drake, and his eyes just kind of... and he falls backwards asleep on the deck.
And then with the rest of my turn, I'll say, Drake, I look forward to hearing your songs. Please help me.
All right, this crew member turns around, and he will... I'm not going to spin him around. He's just going to attack with the dagger he has there for 6. He does not strike this this Meryl. The rest of the crew begin rushing up out of the decks. None of them can make an attack this turn, but the first kind of wave of them reach the top of the stairs, ready to like enter combat, roused from their slumber. Alrighty, that brings us to Rose. There's only 2 of them left. One asleep on the dock, the other surrounded by your new friends.
And I have exactly 1 pebble left, Greg, so I'm gonna shoot the pebble.
Alright.
At this one. Okay.
20 hits him, yeah.
for 9 damage.
9 points of damage. He takes a shot to the side of his head. A second pebble. Now he has 2 streaks of blood down his eyes. They look kind of like war paint now. And he just kind of stares down Janlar.
But Jenna looks fine, right? He hasn't taken damage so far. He's just...
No, his wards are very strong, it seems. Okay, that is Rose's turn. Hugh, you're behind this thing. What do you do?
I'm gonna poke him, but I'm also gonna yell to Esteban to get his ass over here.
All right.
And I'm gonna stab this guy. I do have sneak attack clicked. Oh, no.
No, you miss him. He twirls around in like a complete defensive frenzy, trying to bat away anything coming in.
Yep, cool. Does Esteban come over? Because that'll be...
Yes, Esteban can make it to the middle of the ship from the edge.
Cool.
And there's just enough room for... I guess you could surround him with a lot of people, actually, by the judging of the squares.
Yeah.
11 does not hit.
An 11 does not hit, no. Once again, his whirling defense keeps everything at bay.
Well, then he's good for my turn.
Excellent. That is Hugh. Jagar,
Alright.
your previous prey has fallen. What do you do now?
I'm gonna turn to this last standing Merrill, and I'm gonna take a swing. That's a miss, but with my second attack, that's a crit.
That is.
So it's gonna take 15 points of damage.
15.
And because I'm a great weapon master, I get another attack as a bonus action for landing a crit. How injured is this one?
He is bloodied. He's looking pretty rough, actually. He's a bit beyond bloodied after your first hit.
Okay, we're gonna try doing something a little bit different. We're gonna try doing the -5 for the +10 to damage and see how that works out. Nope. Wouldn't have made a difference.
You set your feet, get both hands on the sword, really give it an extra mighty swing, and you like cut a big wedge into the deck right in front of the captain.
And you just hear me like, oh, you're fixing that.
Alrighty, that brings us to Drake. What do you do?
I stab Jagar. No. I look at. Oi, that's coming out of your pay. It's you. I don't.
You're not paying me.
You'll figure out your sea legs. Hold on a second. I have to save the day. Tell everyone about this.
Yes.
Is that your third crit?
Yeah.
That is a very nice crit. The first damage kills it.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I essentially just rapier both sides in, and I just eviscerate this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Then. Anyway, I figured out the song. I got it. But the Spriggan.
That's what you were thinking about?
Yes. Listen, listen. I told you we had a discussion, you and I, about what happens on this ship. It's a regular occurrence that we're attacked.
Hold on. Excuse me for a moment, and I'm gonna walk over and stab this last Merrill.
No, don't do it. Don't do that. I said,
All
please
right.
don't.
You walk over and you
I yell
stab
to
the
the
marrow.
Jaguar and say, please don't.
I mean, if he intercepts me before I do it, I would stop and say, you have a very short while here, Janlar.
Somebody tie him up. We can
Yeah, I got
question
some
about the location
no.
of their city.
They just said we're approaching their city and they want to kill us, and they're going to keep coming if we don't go away.
Yes, but we need someone to tell us the exact location of their city.
Oh, well, I guess that's me. I guess I can be the one to talk to it, since it seems like none of you can.
I'll just toss you some more.
All right.
Alright, and with
This is
that,
fine.
you tie up the final Merrill, disarm him, and set him aside, waiting for sleep to wear off.
That's a bit gory.
Yes. You
can't fight
lop
back
off
with his
both of his
arms.
arms to make sure that he can never fight again.
Or swim.
Or swim. We will go ahead and take a small break here, about 5 minutes or so. Let people go get more Mountain Dew, relax, whatever they need to do. And on the other side, we'll come back with some interrogation of the Merrill. We will be right back, everybody. See you in a sec.